Have you ever wondered what would happen if someone could control creatures the size of mountains living beneath the earth? 2.2 million years ago, Arachna discovered this incredible power, and her underground spider army would become the most feared force in prehistoric history. In the harsh prehistoric world of 2.2 million years ago, where survival meant constant vigilance and strength determined leadership, there existed territories where even the bravest warriors feared to tread. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, in labyrinthine tunnels carved through solid rock over countless millennia, dwelled creatures of such immense size and ancient intelligence that they had become living legends whispered around tribal fires. Arachna was 25 years old, daughter of Chief Thornrack of the Mountain Claws tribe, and already recognized as one of the most formidable warriors her people had ever produced. Her athletic frame bore the scars of countless battles against prehistoric predators, and her fierce dark eyes reflected a tactical mind that could analyze any combat situation with ruthless precision. She was known throughout the region not for gentle leadership, but for her savage efficiency in protecting her people through whatever means necessary. The Mountain Claws tribe had ruled their rocky territory for generations, building their settlements into the very cliffs and mountainsides that provided natural fortification against the enormous predators that roamed the ancient world. Their domains stretched across vast mountain ranges where hidden valleys offered protection and abundant resources for those skilled enough to claim and hold them. But their dominance was threatened by an invasion unlike anything they had ever faced. From the eastern lowlands came a coordinated assault by the largest prehistoric predators ever assembled in one place. Massive dire wolves the size of modern elephants, saber-toothed cats whose fangs could pierce stone, and most terrifying of all, colossal bears whose roars could trigger avalanches, had formed an unprecedented alliance to claim the mountain territories for themselves. The invasion had been devastating and relentless. Traditional defensive strategies that had protected the Mountain Claws for generations proved useless against predators of such size and coordination. Settlements that had stood for centuries were destroyed in days, and the surviving tribal members found themselves pushed deeper and deeper into the mountain ranges toward territories that even they considered too dangerous to inhabit. As their people faced extinction and their ancestral lands fell to the giant predators, Arachna volunteered for the most dangerous mission imaginable, to venture into the deepest mountain caves in search of allies or weapons that might turn the tide of their desperate war. These were caverns that tribal legends claimed led to the very heart of the earth, where creatures beyond imagination dwelled in eternal darkness. The expedition into the forbidden depths began with 12 of her finest warriors. But as they descended further into tunnels that seemed to stretch endlessly downward, mysterious disappearances began to thin their ranks. One by one, her companions vanished without a trace, leaving behind only distant echoes that might have been screams or might have been the whispers of ancient stone. When Arachna finally reached the deepest accessible chambers, she found herself completely alone in a vast underground cathedral carved from living rock. The walls were covered with massive webs that gleamed like silver in the faint light filtering down from the surface world far above. These were not ordinary spider webs, but architectural marvels that formed bridges, platforms, and elaborate structures throughout the enormous cavern. It was in this place of ancient mystery that she encountered the guardian of the deep, a prehistoric spider of such colossal proportions that its body alone was larger than her entire tribal settlement. Its 8 legs, each thicker than the mightiest trees, could have easily crushed buildings, while its multiple eyes glowed with an intelligence that spoke of eons of accumulated wisdom and patient observation. The encounter that followed would become the stuff of legend. Rather than fleeing or attempting to fight a creature so impossibly large, Arachna approached the ancient guardian with the fearless determination that had made her legendary among her people. In that moment of supreme courage, the mountain-sized spider struck, sinking fangs the size of spears deep into her shoulder. But instead of delivering death, the bite triggered a transformation that defied all natural law. The spider's venom, refined through millions of years of evolution, carried with it something far more precious than poison: the genetic memory and psychic imprint of an entire underground civilization that had been waiting for the right leader to emerge and claim their allegiance. As the transformation coursed through her bloodstream, Arachna's consciousness expanded beyond human limitations. Her mind suddenly encompassed vast networks of tunnels that stretched beneath entire continents, populated by creatures whose existence the surface world never suspected. She could sense thousands upon thousands of giant spiders, each one a masterpiece of natural engineering and predatory perfection, all awaiting her commands. The revelation was overwhelming and magnificent. The underground realm was not a chaotic collection of individual predators, but a sophisticated civilization with its own social structures, communication networks, and territorial organization. The spiders had built an empire beneath the earth that rivaled anything achieved by surface dwellers, complete with nurseries for their young, food storage systems, and defensive networks that could mobilize within hours. With her newfound abilities, Arachna discovered she could communicate telepathically with her underground subjects, coordinating their movements across vast distances and directing their efforts with unprecedented precision. She could see through their multiple eyes, feel through their sensitive legs, and utilize their collective intelligence to analyze threats and opportunities on a scale no human leader had ever achieved. The first test of her new alliance came when she led her underground army to the surface in response to the ongoing invasion of her homeland. The giant predators that had seemed so insurmountable when fought with traditional weapons and tactics suddenly found themselves facing enemies that emerged from the very ground beneath their feet. The battle that followed was unlike anything ever witnessed in prehistoric warfare. The mountain-sized spiders erupted from hidden tunnel entrances with perfect coordination, their massive forms moving with surprising speed and grace as they overwhelmed the giant predators through superior numbers and tactical positioning. Web networks that had taken centuries to construct became the foundation for complex trap systems that could immobilize even the largest attackers. But it was not merely the spider's size and strength that proved decisive in the conflict. Under Arachna's telepathic guidance, they fought with intelligence and strategy that no surface creature could match. They utilized underground tunnels to outflank enemies, coordinated simultaneous attacks across multiple locations, and employed web-based communication systems that allowed for real-time tactical adjustments during the heat of battle. The invasion that had threatened to destroy the Mountain Claws tribe was not merely repelled, but completely eliminated. The surviving giant predators fled to distant territories, carrying with them stories of the terrifying army that could emerge from the earth itself. Word spread throughout the prehistoric world that the mountains now belonged to a new kind of ruler, one who commanded forces beyond the understanding of surface dwellers. In the aftermath of their victory, Arachna established herself as the first spider queen, ruling over a domain that extended both above and below ground. Her people, the Mountain Claws, found themselves elevated from desperate refugees to the most powerful tribe in the known world, protected by allies whose very existence inspired awe and terror in their enemies. The underground empire continued to grow under her guidance, with new tunnel networks expanding the reach of her influence across vast distances. Trade routes that had been impossible to maintain due to surface predators became safe and profitable when protected by underground patrols. Settlements that had been vulnerable to attack were now defended by guardians that could emerge from the earth at a moment's notice. If you want to witness more incredible tales of prehistoric leaders who discovered supernatural alliances that transformed them from desperate survivors into rulers of hidden empires, subscribe to join our journey through the mysteries of human evolution. Hit that like button if this story of underground spider mastery amazed you as much as it would have terrified those ancient giant predators. Tell us in the comments, would you have the courage to accept a bite from a mountain-sized spider to gain control over an underground army? The most spectacular part of this saga is yet to come in our next video, where we'll reveal how Arachna's spider empire influenced the development of underground civilizations and what happened when other surface dwellers began seeking their own alliances with the creatures that dwelt beneath the earth. The legend of Arachna the Spider Queen became the foundation of a new era in prehistoric warfare, proving that sometimes the greatest power lies not in conquering the surface world, but in claiming dominion over the vast realms that exist in the darkness below.